Thursday morning. We want to put the focus on the Chinese associations and the different organizations, the chamber that is involved with the many different associations in Trinidad and Tobago. They are doing their part to assist those affected by the October floods. The association and its various arms have always been involved in social outreaches, and here to tell us more about the organization, the chamber, the different elements of the organization, we're joined by three personalities. We have Mr. Wei Ji Rong, who is the gentleman furthest from us. He's a media officer for the organization. The gentleman in the middle is Kenny Coilas, who is the public relations officer, and we also have with us the gentleman closer to me, Edwin Ping Shui, who is the secretary of the organization. Good morning, gentlemen. Thanks very much for joining us. Mr. Coilas, as the PRO, if you could lead us off in our discussion this morning as we talk about the role and the function of these various organizations.
Okay, well, in Trinidad, what persons are unaware of, in China, different provinces send down persons to Trinidad, and each of them will keep their link with China. So there are different associations in Trinidad, but all together, one will represent that entire body. That is the China Trinidad and Tobago Chamber of Commerce. They are situated at the Dim Sum King compound in San Fernando. So they will be the mother of all the Chinese associations in Trinidad. They will be a representative. All the financial aspects, all the commerce aspects of it. Right? But this morning, we really want to start off to talk about the charity and all the other donations that these various associations have done over the past numerous years in Trinidad, because the public in Trinidad is not aware about it, right? So Mr. Edwin here can relate to you of all the information about the charities and donations and upcoming events also.
Mr. Edwin, you've been in Trinidad, you were telling me, for about 15 years,
yes,
and now you like doubles?
Yeah, I like doubles.
You like doubles? All right.
Blue teas, right?
Okay. But tell us about some of the work that your organization has been doing.
Well, the organization of the Commerce Chamber since 2014, right? We do a lot, mainly the charity works. Actually, most of the year, like what we previously do is charity, like providing the children coming back the fund and buy the V cup of the compounds, right? And we also donate the whatever necessary to Ho Choi. And also all the homes age too. We do when Lighthouse at the bank sometimes, and they request to say, hey, they need something donation. We're doing from our association.
And is it difficult right now because the economy is down, business is slow with many business communities in Trinidad and Tobago? Is it very difficult right now to be able to provide that sort of assistance?
Well, compared previously years, it's a little bit difficult. But our association, all the group of the association, they support us. We have a group of the Chinese people here. Everybody support. When we ask for any donation, they are all keep donation to the articles, the donation with the matches, even the cash too. So they really support our. We have a group. We really support this because they think the chamber here, which is we're working in Trinidad, we're living in Trinidad. We treat Trinidad as a home. So everybody in Trinidad have a problem. We think we can able to do it, we will do it.
And Mr. Coilas, before we hear from Mr. Wei Ji Rong, and by the way, our cameras may be able to pick it up in a little while, that we have a list of all the different arms of the Chinese associations and the different chambers that are involved in coming together to provide services for people of Trinidad and Tobago. Mr. Coilas, if people want to get more information, if they want to find out how this organization can assist them in whatever venture they have, what do they have to do?
Sir. Well, what takes place, the Chinese nationals themselves, as an icon, they are very shy publicly. They don't like to publicize their donations. So what we do, and that is probably a part of my function, I will send out emails to MPs, councillors, government ministers, Serval, Lions, any organization that I can relate to who do donations, right? And they will go out to their communities, send a checklist, and they will return us to us. So if we know that there's 50 mattresses of various communities in need of, we will go ahead, purchase it at the Vic Mall Hardwares or wherever, and we will contact back the MPs or councillors and pass on the donations.
And while we're having our discussion, our viewers are seeing images of some of the work that has been done in different areas, the distributions and the different elements of the services that are offered. But just give us the contact information as well if someone wants to reach the organization.
Okay, Mr. Edwin?
Well, we have our email, the website as well. So we don't really much advertisement in our chambers, but most of the people they can find us, especially they go through this list.
With the different organizations
they can
that
contact all the different organizations.
Okay, and Mr. Wei Jirong, tell us a bit about your own involvement with the organization, because you are the Chamber's media officer. What is your job with this organization?
My main job in the Chamber is to do the economic research. So, and my title is the Economic Research Officer for the Chamber. So, yeah, I think the economy now is going down for the whole world. So I provide plenty information and advice after do the research, provide for the Chamber and for our president and to make some.
Yeah, and when you have to make those decisions, because you know, as you said, and Mr. Edwin pointed it out as well, times are difficult, but you still want to assist and provide services and so on. Does it make it very difficult for the different business organizations to do business and to have the extra money to help people? Is it very difficult for you all right now?
Oh no, I think there are different field of economy and organization, different field of the something like the Chinese community. Somebody doing supermarket and somebody doing restaurant and somebody maybe doing casino as well, and that's the main business we're doing. But all of them is even though the economy is slow down now, and they have next profit. But when we ask them to do the donation, they're really willing to do. For example, and this time when we show them the victim for the victim, they are very willing to donate plenty money for us to.
That's very encouraging to hear as well. And Mr. Koilas, in that sense, I suppose, as you mentioned correctly, sometimes people have different ideas about the communities and the Chinese community and so on. But based on the information that you're providing and your involvement with the organization, this is an example of one segment of the community in Trinidad and Tobago doing a lot, but not really looking to get a lot of attention, but certainly doing a tremendous amount to help all the people of Trinidad and Tobago.
That's correct, that's correct. And not only in the flood relief programs and the donation and charities, but we have to talk about the investment part in it. The Chinese nationals, we have two types of investments. We have an independent investor and we have government-to-government contracts, right? Now these Chinese nationals we are dealing with here are the independent investors. These are the persons, as he said, that will open the restaurants, casinos and the supermarkets. Now these persons, the misconception Trinidadians have is that they are coming here with a lot of money to open business and they have a financial backing from other Chinese agencies or associations. That is incorrect. These persons come to Trinidad with a no-fail attitude. They cannot afford to fail. Because in China, there's approximately 1.3 billion persons.
Yes.
Right, that's the population. So when they leave China, it's not that they have a dependent of 2 or 3 as in Trinidad. They have dependents as 15 to 25 persons, depending on one person's income. So when them come to Trinidad, it's a no-fail attitude they have. So you will see an analysis or probably a dentist leaving China to come to Trinidad to open a supermarket. He will become a tile maker. He will become a painter because he have no other choice. They cannot fund the project and hire locally. So they invest all their time and a lot of their finances just to make their business grow.
And you know, it's interesting that we're having that discussion. Time probably doesn't allow us to go into it in greater detail, but you almost get the sense that people either resent the presence of not because of necessarily has everything to do with race and so on, but the work ethic
Exactly.
of people who come from China. The fairly recent people come from China because of the growth in the economy, the construction boom. There were lots of people coming in, whether from government to government arrangements and so on. And people always talk about the Chinese work ethic,
Right.
and working to get the job. And you almost
And
get
that is the point. No fail attitude.
and you almost get the view, Mr. Collas, that because of the Trini way of doing things,
Yes.
that any time is Trinidad time. You don't work a full day. You feel to come to work whenever you want.
And that is-
people actually resent that.
That is why I'll speak about the government contract part now. Because you will see on a job site, a contract is awarded to a Chinese construction company, and they bring 200 or 300 Chinese nationals to work. But they have a reason for that. They know how to manage their own local workers. They know that they have a time limit on their contract. They cannot treat Trinidad nationals the same way they will treat Chinese nationals. It is against labor laws and practices and rules and regulations down here. But they will accept those conditions because they are on a time frame. If they go to hire local workers on those construction sites, we are talking about persons who want public days off, Saturdays and Sundays off. That is not helping neither countries.
But I mean, you open up a whole thing there. Is that in violation of the laws of Trinidad and Tobago?
But that is a different topic. No, these are nationals. No, this will be a government-to-government issue. The government would have been aware of these practices.
Well, but time doesn't allow us to go
Right.
into that into greater detail, because I'm sure it's something that,
Yes,
that someone like a Mr. Clyde Elder, who was on the show earlier this morning, would be very interested in getting involved in. But just a final thought from Mr. Edwin, if you would. Do you feel that you are making a positive contribution to Trinidad and Tobago? Because as we said, there are many people who will wonder, you are coming here to take jobs from Trinidadians and so on. But do you feel you are giving a service and helping to provide employment for people in Trinidad and Tobago?
Yeah, certainly. Whatever the Chinese people come into Trinidad, whatever they're working or they establish business, well, if I establish business, I believe they will increase the local employments, right? They'll hire the local people or whatever. But if a people who working here, is mostly they are working for their own family. You know, most of the time they're working for the family business.
Yes.
But who establish business here, they don't have a life coming with family members. They will hire the local. That's why they will create the employments.
And finally, before we conclude, and we appreciate you gentlemen joining us so we can get a better insight into the work of the various Chinese associations in Trinidad and Tobago and the very many different arms that are involved. At the end of it all, Mr. Edwin, when is it your hope to go back home to China, or have you made your home here in Trinidad and Tobago?
I will make home in Trinidad is a home, state, because we're living here so long, and we were really accustomed in Trinidad.
And you're accustomed with doubles already. From what we just heard. Well, gentlemen, thanks very much for being with us this morning as we talk about the role and the work of the different Chinese associations and the different organizations involved in generous work, in charitable work, in business arms as well. And we often think about these various organizations and what are they doing to assist us in Trinidad and Tobago. As Mr. Edwin said, well, he sees himself as part of Trinidad and Tobago as well, with a slightly different accent to some of us in many respects. But we all speak differently in many different ways in many different parts of the country anyway, so it ain't no big deal in that sense. Coming up towards the top of the hour, but we just have to take one more break before we wrap up the show.